Oh yeah. It is 9 a.m. here in Los Angeles. It is Monday, January 27th, AD 2025. We're going to have a fun, I think, loosey-goosey, the Hake Report show, everybody, thehakereport.com. And I wanted to touch on alarm clocks and phones and sleep, fun information, my opinion, fun, good, helpful, possibly, maybe, from Commie Nonsense Network of all places. Shout out. And Trump wants to clean up the area, clean up Gaza. I agree with him. And you can call that ethnic cleansing if you want. I won't take issue with it. The only issue that I'll take with it is that carries a negative connotation. You know what I mean? This is the Hake Report, not the Hakf Report. Here, let me show you. Lord. If I take myself off, Hake Report. Anyway. Yeah, I'm for that. You know, I think maybe I'm wrong. Am I wrong? Ooh, they were there first. Maybe. So what? Doesn't matter. Doesn't mean anything. Oh, we were here. We're indigenous. First of all, you're not. And second of all, who cares? That being first or being indigenous to a place doesn't give you the right to own that place. You got to be able, in this world, you got to be able to keep it. Trump is trying to keep America. Because we've lost it, or take it back, I don't know. Gaza stinks, says somebody. So I'm for, let them have a little ethnic Enzinclay. Anyway, yeah, just because you're first in the chat doesn't mean you own the chat. So it's dumb. And something else going on. Oh yeah, Chinese New Year's coming up. Whatever. Explain the lines of longitude, flat Earth people. There are like 11, I heard, time zones in Russia. Well, there's maybe like 17, but they kind of overlap and are each other, kind of, basically. Not just overlap, they are each other. They coincide with each other. So 11 time zones, at least according to a search that I did on the Brave browser. And that's cool. And when you look at them, they don't exactly follow the lines of longitude, you know, on the globe Earth. They're imaginary lines, okay? Kind of like the vanishing point is imaginary too. But anyway. So look, LA, or is that Glendale? We're looking from a plane down on the city, or neighborhoods, cities, and the beautiful San Gabriel Mountains, Los Angeles. I don't know what. So explain that, flat earthers. People don't like my flat earth conversations. I wanted to show you guys the beautiful ocean and, you know, squids versus octopuses, I think is the proper term. You know, last week. I didn't get to that.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Wait, who am I talking to? Who is this person? Who is the recording person, Hake, talking to? To whom? Sitting in the 2022, February 27th. It's like 3 years ago almost. Hey, look, the Hollywood sign. Anyway, guys. Let's just get right on with the show. Oh no. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake
Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how you guys doing? I am fine. I have my mildly attractive t-shirt on. Hey, is this your drone footage? No, it's not. It's taken from a plane. Can't you hear the hum of the plane? You hear that? I feel like we're on American Anchor Baby Airlines. So beautiful. Flying into LAX, Los Angeles International Airport. I don't know if that was drowning me out. I don't know if you guys could hear that. Anyway, whatever. Looks like a dump, says Cam. Yeah, true. I don't know. It may, but it's my dump. And plus, it's not too humid. It's comfortable. The sun is nice. The clouds are nice. And the people are as bad as people anywhere. Where did I just click? I was just landing. Okay. All right, so, whatever. Let's get into this stuff, right? You can call in 1-888-775-3773. Since we're on this, let me take you guys to time in Russia. Time zones in Russia. And when you look at this, come on. Oh yeah, I did this in the Brave browser. Let me see if far left Google has the same lines as I have. Look at this one. The lines of longitude. On a globe, you see, come off of it, Hake. Okay, so you see, I don't know if you guys see this. Here's the Arctic Circle, roughly. And you see these lines spanning out? I'm holding my beach ball globe. Given to me, inherited by our greatest producer, the white one. Our greatest white producer. Sean. He's Irish, okay? But he smashed this, by the way, and flattened it because he's a flat earther. But these two lines that expand out, they expand out. And that's what's happening in Russia. Because Russia is real close to, I guess, the North Pole. So those lines are like raying out. Explain that, flat earthers. Explain the lines of longitude. Longitude is so cool. Latitude is necessary. But longitude is cool. Longitude proves ball. I don't know. So the idea is up here, the lines have come to a point at the North Pole. And then they expand out. There's your, it's not exactly vanishing point. It's not even the same thing remotely. It's real, kind of, imaginary real. So cool. But look how big Russia is. And that is awesome. I prefer America, of course. But over here, they say where Moscow is, I think. No. Yeah, maybe. Kaliningrad. Cool. Moscow time. Nice. That's pretty... Shout out to Russia and the flat earthers and the baltards. We love everybody. We love everybody. There are some super chats that I did not get to. By the way, guys, speaking of that, because I wanted to deal with this division in the church. Because, you know, we're kind of like a church. You, me, everybody in the world are the so-called Christians. And so I will get to that. Popcorn's thump cake, I think, made me think of it. You know, with all this culture stuff. Pff, what a joke. But it's Chinese New Year, okay? And the Chinese... this is culture related. I told you guys in Hake News on the JLP show today that there are beta snake babies gonna be born soon. They're all beta babies right now. They call it Lunar New Year. And the only other place that I heard a real actual person say Lunar New Year was from a Taiwanese. Because the Taiwanese want to hate China, kind of like Ukrainians. They practically all speak Russian, but because they're so political and anti-Russia right now, they have sour grapes because Russia's invading them and killing them, and they're killing each other, and it's a terrible war. They don't want to speak Russian. And the Taiwanese are mad because they speak Chinese, maybe. I don't know. I heard the Austrians are mad because they speak Deutsch, German, right? Or am I wrong? Is it true that the Taiwanese want to call it Lunar New Year instead of Chinese New Year? Because Taiwan is trying to play like they're independent from China. And I used to respect it. I no longer do because I see they're all a bunch of dumb, lame liberals. Shout out. I could be wrong. But in my experience, they're lame-o liberals. Including those Hong Kong protests, which is not Taiwan, different place. But Hong Kong was English owned. Then they gave it back to China. And so it's supposedly, you know, independent, but also part of China again. Whatever. Those Hong Kong democracy protests from a few years ago, dumb, lame liberals. Students. Do students stand for anything good? I know that there's been students for pro-life, but even the pro-lifers are pretty lame if you think about it. A lot of them. Like, they didn't even want Trump. Ridiculous. So red is the superstitious Chinese like to use red to ward off some demonic something. That's why their doors are red and all that stuff. Maybe they got it from like Moses in the Bible. You're supposed to have the blood over the door so that the angel of death passes over you. I don't know. The Chinese zodiac calendar is best described as a 12-year cycle represented by 12 animals in this order: rat, ox, tiger, rabbit. Year of the rabbit. Hey. Sort of a fun instrumental album by that supposedly Christian artist, Sufjan Stevens. Year of the dragon. What is that? When rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake. Year of the snake is happening right now, or shortly. Wednesday. Look at this. Pretty graphic, though. Where did I leave off? Horse, year of the horse, year of the goat, year of the monkey. I'm doing my monkey sign. Ooh, 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 ah, ah, ah. And rooster. I think rooster is my year. I was born the year of the rooster. I know because my friend who's older than me, like a year older than me, was the year of the monkey. And there's the year of the dog and year of the pig. Your personal zodiac animal sign is determined by your year of birth, Chinese year of birth, that is, meaning 2025, come January 29th, will welcome plenty of baby snakes. But right now, they're not snakes, they're dragons, baby beta dragons. But they're going to be baby beta snakes. Children born in the last lunar calendar year were dragons, while those born on or off the Lunar New Year in 2026 will be horses and so on. Look at that. Chinatown. Looks kind of like Chinatown. Snake-shaped installations in Shanghai. Oh, that's in Shanghai. Why does it look like Chinatown? Followers believe each blah, 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 blah. I don't really care. But the animals kind of fun. And there's here's the little thing about the dragon, or the bad spirit thing. Countless folk tales attached to Chinese New Year, they call it Lunar New Year because they're politically correct. But the myth of Nian, I don't know how to pronounce that, Nian, stands out as one of the most fun. It's called funnest. Who wrote this? Maggie Hui Fu Wong. Okay, so they used a DEI person to write this. Funnest is not, it's funnest, it's not most fun. And she thinks that this is fun, but this is scary. According to the legend, every Lunar New Year's Eve, this ferocious underwater beast with sharp teeth and horns would crawl onto the land and attack a nearby village. Nian, the monster. Cool, cute, huh? Things that scare the Nian away: red clothes, firecrackers, and red house decorations. They try to make like it's fun, but really it's crazy. It'll kill people, allegedly. Fun aside, it can be a lot of work, blah, blah, blah. 15 days, sometimes more. This thing lasts, and whatever. Sometimes it's in February, sometimes it's in January. I used to do the firecracker with my friends, Chinese friends, incidentally. Or anchor babies in some cases. But, and that would be like a 10K or a 5K or 10K in China, through Chinatown, Los Angeles, and then get back in time for church on Sunday. I don't want to read some of these words, but they have good health. Around their door, they have this thing. Fu. Hopefully I'm not saying that bad word. Good fortune. Xian Ti Jiang Kang. Whatever that is. Good health. Shu Ru Ping An. I'm just making up accents. Safe journey. Some of the prep work, blah, 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 blah. Don't care. This is all, like, how vain is this? China, CNN, Commie Nonsense did this whole thing for them, and I'm covering it. Rice cakes, dumplings. I feel like they stole dumplings from America or English. At least the word. Because dumplings, anyway, maybe I'm wrong. Longevity noodles, steam fit. Anybody eat the eyeball? It is tough. I tried to eat the eye one time or twice. And it is tough, yet powdery, and you can't get through it. Anchor Baby's like, it wasn't steamed long enough. In blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah, I had friends. My friend's mother gave us these red envelopes with money in them. I remember liking money. I got like $1 or a $5. And my other friend's mother gave, my sister's friend's mother gave me stuff, these ones. And my friend's mother, who never spoke any English, and she's scared on the road. I remember my friend talking about, you know how the Chinese people can't drive, many of them? Sometimes, maybe especially the women. Like they have the right of way on the right turn. You're waiting for them on the left turn because in America, the driver is on the left side of the vehicle. And so you're about to turn left and we drive on the right side of the road, okay, in America. You commies. And I'm waiting to turn left, but the person turning right has the right of way, and they stop. And you're like, okay, I'm going. A mess. Shout out. And then they drive slowly, and then they kind of like don't really necessarily pay attention. Like, open your eyes. And you honk at them, you look over, and then there's this looking straight, and it just takes away all of the ability to road rage on them. Except the blacks still sneak up and hit them sometimes. I've never honked at them and tried to look at them. I'm just describing a possible situation, necessarily. But anyway, they give you this stuff. Isn't that nice? I'm okay with this. It's kind of fun. But I don't like the takeover and the surrender of the culture of the normal white civilization culture thing, and the over-eager adoption of all this other culture stuff. And I'm going to talk about that. The people's birthday. Sounds communist, you know? They have a mother goddess? What in the world? Lantern Festival. They're flying their lanterns on fire throughout the desert over in that way somewhere. And it lands in people's yards on fire. These big old puffy toy paper things with fire in them, floating them around, and then they fall in people's yards. Sort of a fire danger, but okay. Anyway, later this show, I intend to talk about the culture stuff and how we need to discriminate. Discrimination is good, and segregation is fine. It's natural. Everybody does it. They just turned it into like a bad word when whites do it. Ridiculous. But let me tell you about some of the stuff going on, because I want to get to some news. Trump is talking about clearing out the area in Israel or Gaza. And tell me if this is wrong. I don't necessarily see it as wrong. In the Middle East, tens of thousands of displaced Gaza residents began returning to what was left of their homes today. Wow. Some people live all their lives in Palestine. Pardon the air quotes, okay? Palestinian sympathizers. I'm trolling a little bit. I don't really have a dog in the fight, honestly. Although I lean more pro-Israel. Full disclosure. They seem like better neighbors. After Israel opened a corridor, when was it? October 7th, 2023, when Hamas had the bright idea of killing and kidnapping some people, mostly Israelis, at that festival. They flew in on those cool things, hang gliders, and all kinds of the different things. And there was a lot of killing on many sides, I heard. Shout out to Omar, Third Rail with Omar. But ever since then, Israel's been pounding on them, pounding on Gaza. Their return was pushed back 48 hours after Israel accused Hamas of breaching the terms of the fragile ceasefire agreement. Did Trump achieve that, or did Biden achieve it? Because it happened during Biden's last days as so-called president. And I doubt Biden really has any really wherewithal to do much. Maybe he does, though. It's kind of like I knew an old man named Danny, a neighbor down the street. He was old. He had like 6 fingers total. And he was old, skinny, bent a bit. Always rode his bike. Maybe that's Biden. Just looks almost like death, or definitely very old and decrepit, but yet he may still have some capability. I respect him, our second greatest president, because he loves Trump. He wished Trump God bless and God guide you. That's cool. So I like him. But I think that Trump might have done it, but I don't know. Tensions heightened Saturday after President Donald J. Trump said he had discussed his plan to clean out Gaza. Doesn't that sound like that phrase that I just mentioned earlier this show? Ethnic cleansing. And I disavow it just only because it sounds bad. That's literally the only reason I disavow it. Because Trump is a humane person, a person of love. He wishes everybody well. So anyway, he said that he discussed cleaning out Gaza because there's a right and wrong way to clean up the area. Okay, I don't know if you guys are like, oh, Netanyahu is doing war crimes. I don't know. I don't pay much attention at all. So maybe you know more. Well, surely you know more than I do, but maybe you're judging more than I am. Judging unrighteously, you know? Because I haven't heard anything that, the liberals are the ones crying war crimes. And sometimes the liberals may have a point. I'm not taking that away from you. And you guys are not really liberals. Why you whisper ethnic cleansing like that? Because it doesn't sound good. Because it has a negative connotation. It has an emotional connotation. Same with genocide and segregation, racism, and stuff like that. John from Kentucky talking about the good kind of racism. You don't have the good kind of racism, Hake, he says. Our Black Hebrew Israelite brother. But Jordan and Egypt, he supposedly spoke about his plan to clean out Gaza. I'd rather get involved with some of the Arab nations, I guess that includes Jordan and Egypt, and build housing in a different location from Gaza, right? Different from Gaza, or different to Gaza, where I think they could maybe live in peace for a change. See, he wishes peace on what we could call ex-Gazans. Gazans. I know it would be a land grab for Israel. Let them grab the land. What, they can't get the land? Like, you can say, oh, Hamas didn't start that war. It's a war that they just escalated. Well, they escalated it and brought the smackdown brought on them and their people, the people they supposedly lead. Trump said that. And so both Jordan and Egypt rejected Trump's idea, supposedly, to shift Palestinians out of the enclave, saying such a move would displace Palestinians from their homeland. Well, guess what? You get displaced many times. Whites have been displaced in many cases. You ever heard of white flight? That's white displacement. We're being forced by bad neighborhoods, there goes the neighborhood, out of our neighborhoods. Or you guys have. Some of you older whites who remember this stuff. And that destroyed a lot of generational wealth. Destroyed a lot of land value. Property value goes down when you have high crime types coming in. So it's a big mess. What is this headline? Clean out the whole thing. And I don't think he means ethnically, but in effect, that's kind of what it is. If you want to be shallow about it, you can call it that. If you're going to be shallow. Moving more than 1 million from the Gaza to neighboring countries, blah, blah, blah. Jordan's King Abdullah II, or Il, a key U.S. partner in a Saturday phone call. I said to him that I'd love you to take on more because I'm looking at the whole Gaza Strip right now. It's a mess. It's a real mess. Doesn't that just sound like Trump? Petra, what a cool name for a Jordan state news agency. They have that city called Petra. So 2.39 million registered Palestinian refugees in Jordan already, according to the far left, evil UN. Huh. Well, it's better than bringing them over here. I'll tell you that much. Bringing them into America. That's what they want. And I don't want that. It seems like nobody wants them. I remember they didn't want them even during this thing. They did not want them because primarily, I'm guessing, what my concern would be if I were there is you can't tell the ones who are going to behave themselves from the ones who don't know how to behave themselves. Hake went to Germany to tour all the concentration camps, says somebody in the chat. And that's funny because it's like the game of telephone. I went to Dachau, and nobody died. Nobody was mass murdered in Dachau, I heard. What's the thing? Were people mass murdered in Dachau? I should be checking this for you guys. Come on, I want an AI answer. One of the first concentration camps built by the Nazis. Longest running one. Initially intended to intern his political opponents, that Hitler guys. Communists, social democrats, and other dissidents. I want to know about how many, if prisoners lived in constant fear of brutal treatment and terror detention, including standing cells, floggings, tree or pole hanging, standing at attention extremely long periods. 32,000 documented deaths, and thousands that are undocumented. 10,000 of the 30,000 prisoners were sick at the time of liberation. It was basically, anyway, whatever. Anyway, but I just went, they weren't death camps, says MP. What a mess. Anyway, hang on. Let me get to some calls. Let's move forward. I would like to talk with Brian, a first-time caller in Michigan, I think. Brian, are you there?
Hey, Hake, how you doing?
Doing well. How about you?
I'm doing well as well.
Oh, you've called me before, right?
No, sir, I have not talked to you.
Oh, okay.
I've called into Jesse a few times, but first time with you.
Okay.
So I just wanted to make one comment. You were talking about the, what was it, latitude?
Longitude.
Longitude of the globe Earth.
Yes.
And you were saying that proves the round globe.
Yeah, the ball.
So I don't really, one way or the other, doesn't really matter to me, but I don't really feel that makes an argument for a round ball Earth.
Let me explain why I say that. Okay, say why you don't think it
Well, if the Earth, either way, if it's a globe or if it's flat, it's still a circle. Either it's a flat plate or it's a round ball. I have no idea. But I do know that if you go on Google or any other place and you type in pics of Earth, they always say below it, CGI generated picture. So I don't really feel there's any real from outer space pictures of the Earth.
Oh, I think there are.
Maybe there is. Maybe there isn't. I don't know.
Look up Earthrise.
Earth what?
Earthrise. Like sunrise, Earthrise.
Yeah.
And that's a picture taken, I think, in the 70s or so by an astronaut from when he was going around. They were going around the moon or something like that. They were around the area of the moon. And they caught a portion of the moon and the Earth in the background. And that was not CGI or Photoshop.
Oh, you're talking about the one through the porthole of the spaceship.
That's right. I think so. Yep.
I've seen a documentary on that.
Yeah.
Either way, I heard the documentary I seen, they debunked it, said it was all fake. They showed how they put a picture of it to make it look like it was a picture from where he was taking it, and then it just so happened to be where the porthole was, and when he snapped it, oh, look, there's the Earth.
And so you believe this documentary, but that's one picture that does not say CGI.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
Not trying to argue. Just making a comment.
But how does a circular Earth disprove the lines of longitude and the fact that it gets dark along these lines of longitude about the same time, kind of roughly?
Well,
and they expand, the darkness and light expand closer to the big part, the equator of the Earth, where the lines of longitude are longest.
So either way, if the Earth is a globe or if it's flat like a circular plate, the North Pole would still be the center of the Earth, and all those lines would come from that center.
Right.
Out.
Yep, exactly.
So,
but the light would never, if the sun is above the Earth, the light would never go out on any part of the Earth.
Sure it would.
Unless the sun were really low to the Earth and the mountains were blocking it. But other than that, the sun is always going to be bright if the sun is always above the Earth.
If the Earth does not move, this is just hypothetical.
Yeah.
If the Earth doesn't move and it stays stationary and the sun travels around the Earth, as we go through seasons, the reason it gets warmer, say I'm in Michigan, it's wintertime now.
Uh-huh.
Well, we're going back to longer days. So right now the sun is moving in closer towards Michigan. It's not close yet because it's still cold. Let's say December is when the sun is furthest away from the North Pole. That's when they have their coldest part of the year. Same thing for here in Michigan. It gets cold. The sun's furthest away. Now that we're going January, we're almost into February, the sun is moving back closer towards the North Pole. By the time it's May, June, the sun will be even closer.
But this doesn't make any sense because the sun always looks the same size no matter what the time of the year it is. It never looks significantly closer or further that I've noticed. When I take a glance at the sun, I know you're not supposed to, but the sun is always is more at an angle, and that proves the ball yet again. It's at a further angle. It's at a lower angle. That means our shadows are longer, even in the noontime. The sun is not directly overhead because it's down here.
Well, either way, you get darkness because the sun is moving around the outside of the Earth. So when it's on one side, the other side's dark as it's coming around.
On a ball, right?
No, I'm talking about on a flat Earth.
On the flat Earth? How does that make sense?
You don't see a sunrise.
Yeah, you do.
You see the sun coming into view.
Right, from the horizon.
It's coming into your view.
From the horizon, right? It rises from the horizon. And the horizon indicates it's a ball. Means that it's spinning.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Doesn't that make so much more sense?
No.
Oh.
Because even if you look if you're on the beach,
yeah,
and you see a boat,
yeah,
and it starts, and I heard you say that the vanishing point doesn't prove the fact of a flat Earth.
Right. It just drops off.
It don't drop off.
Yeah, it does.
You can't see it. But if you have a pair of binoculars, you can't see that boat. But if you put a pair of binoculars up to your eyes, you can now see the boat.
It says you. But the horizon clearly just drops off. You should never see a boat be able to peek above the horizon if it were a flat.
I just say it's out of your view.
No.
Your eyesight can only see so far. There's a calculation deal on the internet. There's supposed to be, I forget how many inches of drop.
I think it's like 8 inches or something like that.
Right. So I live here in Michigan.
Per mile
squared. If I go
something
over,
like that.
if I go over to the west side of the state by Lake Michigan,
Yeah.
and I look across the lake, you can see the Chicago skyline. You shouldn't be able to see it.
Why shouldn't you be able to see the Chicago skyline?
Because it's too far across the lake.
I don't know if that's true or not.
I'd have to look up how many miles it is across Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
And do the math.
Because light bends and all kinds of stuff is going on. And the Chicago skyline is pretty tall. And I don't know, because
you can see,
there are
a lot
times
of lights.
And you're higher up than what you think, higher up above sea level from what you think. You guys don't account for how high above sea level you are, and you don't account for how the fact that you see stuff above the horizon means that everything else is dropped off behind it. Flat Earth Dave, when I was on the Jesse Lee Peterson show with Flat Earth Dave, that Jewish guy.
Yeah, I listened to it.
He tried to claim that there were dolphins jumping up above the horizon, trying to disprove the fact that it just drops off. The horizon just drops off, which is where the curve is. And I'm like, how are dolphins able to jump up above Mount Everest and all the land that's behind there? The dolphins wouldn't be able to clear that. How high above the sea level was the camera that was taking the supposed dolphins pictures?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, so that's an important question. Do you have good spatial understanding?
No, I don't believe we've even been to the moon.
No, I'm talking about spatial understanding, understanding of the world around you in like 3 dimensions.
Never really thought about it.
Oh, okay. Do you shoot a basket well? Are you good at basketball?
No, I don't play basketball.
Oh, see, if you played basketball, then you would understand it's a ball Earth. Because you would have the spatial understanding. High spatial IQ.
All right.
Are you in your 50s or 60s or 40s or 30s or 20s or teens or what, out of curiosity, Brian?
Late 50s.
Have you been? I think you have called into my show. Didn't you travel and go see like a Trump rally and stuff?
No, sir.
Oh, you have a similar voice to somebody I know. No worries.
Wasn't me.
Cool, man. Nice. Okay, so we wanted to talk about the Gaza ethnic cleansing real quick. Let's hear about that.
Yeah, well, Jesse had Bill Lockwood on.
Yeah.
Oh, he has him on every month.
Yep.
And one of the times he was on, he talked about how the Jews try to claim they're the real Jews.
Oh, yeah.
And I already knew this, but he brought up a great point that they can't trace their ancestry back any longer because
records were destroyed by somebody.
That's right, by the Romans.
Yeah. Wow, it's crazy.
When the temple was destroyed.
Yeah.
So no one can trace their ancestry back to, oh yeah, I'm a true Jew.
Yeah.
But the true
literally nobody can.
The true Jew
I heard.
Nowadays is just anyone who is a follower of God in your heart, in your mind.
According to even the Bible, right? The Old Testament.
Yes. That's why it says Jew and Gentile.
So it's because it's not by blood, it's by the Spirit.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
Oops.
I mean, all those people over there, yeah, they were already there.
Who are the
But
Palestinians or the?
The Palestinians.
Now,
The
I heard that the
Jews,
Palestinians are pretty mixed. Like it's kind of like saying the South Africans,
I'm sure they are. Look at how we are here in America now.
Right. So they weren't all there first either. If they
And I called into Jesse a couple weeks ago and I talked to him about, I can't recall exactly, but who was it that called out Netanyahu? Because Netanyahu's always wanting to bomb Syria and Iran and take them out, and he's always got the United States backing Israel. Well, Israel isn't even, those people weren't from there. They were taken over to Israel when it was made, before it was made a true state, by the Balfour Declaration. They started taking people.
I've heard of that.
Right, from Poland and other areas over there just before the World War II got started with Hitler. And then more people escaped from there when that was going on, and they went to Israel. So, I mean, I guess you could say they're fake Jews.
But we don't, since we don't know whether they are fake or not, isn't that an assumption to call them fake?
Yeah, I guess it might be, but they weren't there. They came
Some of them
over
were,
from
though, I heard.
Well, there very well could have been. I don't know. But
Yeah.
I know that from what I've read through the Balfour Declaration and all of that, they took Jewish people, so-called Jewish people, over there, set them up in Israel, and then they made that a state.
Yeah.
And they always...
And that was done by the UN. Has the UN ever done anything good? And now the UN's turning on them.
That's right. The UN did do that. But I think it was before it was called the League of Nations.
Oh, maybe.
Before it was the United Nations.
The League of Nations might have been the post-World War II, post-World War I, pre-World War II, right? It was a failure, and UN is maybe even worse.
Right. But, you know, I guess what I'm getting at is, I think, to me, all that over there is a setup to just keep America in their pocket to help them do the destruction that they want to do. And leaders of America go along with it. And they have the people behind them because a lot of people in America feel that they're a Christian. And if you're a Christian, you should back the Jewish state, which is Israel.
That's how I grew up on some level. There was some sense about that. I didn't necessarily understand it entirely. But how about as a practical matter, Israel is undeniably a more functional country than Palestine. The Palestinians don't even like their leadership. I know that the Jewish people don't like their leadership either, but they're more functional, undeniably, right?
Maybe it's just perceived that way. We don't live there, right?
Right.
We don't get their news every day. We don't live their life.
Uh-huh.
I just feel that I really feel that Trump.
So you have no idea whether who's more functional, Palestinians or Jewish people, or the Israelis.
All I can do is go by what you hear in news articles and on the news, and
how about the people themselves and like all that?
Well, I don't have any friends or relatives that I could call that are from there.
So you can't even admit that the Palestinians are less functional as a people and as a society and as a government than the Israeli?
Well, the news puts so much stuff out. What do you believe? It could all be a lie. They just make.
So is that a no? You really can't tell?
No, I can't. I would say no.
You're kind of like the flat Earth, ball Earth thing.
Everything's
It's
a
so
lie, Hake.
obviously Jewish people are very dominant in America, right? Both
Sure.
liberals and
Yeah, they always say that they
conservatives.
own everything.
No,
and
but
all that
I mean,
stuff.
you've seen a lot of Jewish people, and you've seen a handful of Palestinian people. What's her name? The one who said we're going to impeach the MFer. That ratchet woman, Rashida Tlaib.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm calling her ratchet because she said we're going to impeach the MFer when she got elected, during Trump's first term.
Yep. That's the broad from Michigan, I believe.
since you have to have one as a neighbor, which would you rather have as a neighbor? The functional, polite, evil Jewish person, or the ratchet Palestinian gal?
On that question, from what I've seen and what I've heard,
Yeah.
I'd rather have the Jewish person.
Right. That's all I mean.
But what I feel that I hope that Trump goes through with all this and just basically tells all these other countries,
Yeah.
we're not going to be your big brother. We're not in your business. You go do what you got to do, and we're going to do what we have to do.
Nice. I think that Trump is, they say, oh, he's owned, he's supported by them, he's in bed with them, and so what? As to what he's doing, what he's actually doing, I think
Get out. I feel we need to get out of everybody else's business and take care of our own business.
That would be nice.
That would be, as Jesse would say, amazing.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, it's
that
fun.
Would be amazing.
It's interesting talking with you, man. I appreciate your call, Brian in Michigan.
All right. You have a great day.
You as well. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Daniel in Texas is on the line over here. Daniel, how you doing, man?
I'm well, James. How are you?
Doing well, too. Thank you.
Right on. So you have an award from the president of Flat Earth Society.
I do indeed.
You're an honorary, or what's the title?
Honorary membership to the Flat Earth Society for my tireless efforts promoting the flat Earth to people all over the world.
Wow. I got to tell you, man, I am so jealous.
Yeah, it's cool, huh? Oops.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, I often wonder, do I have what it takes to be an honorary member of the Flat Earth Society? I just don't know. What do I have to do?
You have to start a podcast and constantly argue with the flat earthers or baltards.
Oh.
And and have show Sugino as a faithful supporter. Honorary membership. I took a photo of it from here and I was showing it on my phone. An honorary membership.
Man.
In promoting the flat Earth. I'm showing it on my phone.
Man. So, if they have any flat Earth balls and galas,
I would gladly, if it were in my town and I had the time and all that stuff, or if I, they got me a flight or something, or I wanted maybe it was in Vegas and I loved going to Vegas, right? It's been a while. I would go. I would definitely go because, first of all, there's a lot of you guys in my chat and in my phone calls. And you guys are shout out some decent quality people, I have to say.
Yeah.
Per capita.
Yeah, we're like the Black Hebrew Israelites of science.
Yeah, that's right. That's true.
Yeah. No, I always like hearing the callers call in favor of flat Earth and cite all their the truths.
Right.
What we call truths, right? If you will.
Yeah.
And sometimes it puts a new spin on what I have already kind of learned. But do you think they ever take into account that YouTube will actively censor particular conspiracy theories or things that are seen as conspiracy theories? Does that ever enter the conversation?
It touches my mind a lot when they do that. Like it makes me feel understand you guys, because it's like a mama telling you, no, this is real, this is fake, this is unproven, trying to protect you from misinformation or something dumb like that. As if you don't have your own mind and sense, and they want you to rely on them and not have your own mind and sense, honestly. Yeah. It's like Biden complaining about or warning about fake news, or not fake news, but getting rid of fact checkers. Facebook, Meta, Instagram getting rid of their fact checkers and going more to like community notes style, like X has. It's YouTube putting their little, the Earth is a ball. It's an ancient, it's a outdated, obsolete theory or something like that. It's so dumb. It makes you think, oh, they do this anytime there's the truth, about the election, for example. I won't get into that, but all these different things about racism, all that stuff. It is silly.
Yeah, I guess it's the advertisers. The advertisers, which provide the money, don't want their business associated with these topics.
Advertisers wouldn't care, honestly. Advertisers wouldn't and shouldn't care if it weren't for the meddling mamas who try to boycott advertisers and threaten and intimidate advertisers. Yes, really. It is the Media Matters, those types, all those liberal meddling media. Liberal media does it a lot because advertisers wouldn't care. The people don't care. The people see an ad, they don't associate that ad with the content that they're watching. They just associate the ad with an ad, and then they watch the content. It doesn't have anything to do with anything, especially on YouTube. But they want to associate it to intimidate and take down and control. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I also think that if these advertisers are used to getting federal grants, they're used to getting some sort of tax breaks, there's some sort of lobby in their favor in the government, they're not going to want to be associated with things that are against the government's narrative. Yeah,
or the intimidation of the cultural bullies, if you will, which is the media, the lynch mob, the loud agitator, activist types.
Yeah,
because there are so-called conservative activists who are fighting against this DEI, and the media is reporting that there are some of these big companies dropping their DEI programs that they did so artificially after George Floyd drama. And they say, oh, it's under pressure from conservative activists. You know, that one guy who's on Fox News all the time. I don't know if you watch it. I don't really watch it. But there's this one guy who's fighting against DEI and all this dumb propaganda, racial, LGBT, feminist propaganda that has been pushed in education and in the corporate world. And the people don't really care either way. The people will either buy stuff that they want or that they think that they want, or they won't. Then they do get swayed by people do get swayed by the public culture pushers, but it is all about intimidation, I think.
The DEI thing, the damage is already done.
I know.
And so it's not like those people are still in wherever they got.
And it's not just the people, it's the brainwashing is already entrenched in people's minds. But it is people too. Yeah, you're right about that.
It's more of a symptom than an actual the core of the problem.
Yeah, this anti-DEI stuff, you're right, is too little, too late against a culture that's already gone. And there are people awakening, if you will, to that this is just a bunch of, pardon my words, kids, but it's just a bunch of crap. I said that too stylishly. Kids, don't be like Hake. Don't talk like Hake. But it is. That's what it is. And I've heard, people like, there's this guy, Sam Hyde, who said the young people don't fall for this racial guilt stuff. And and he's right about that. So the emperor has no clothes, but there are a lot of people who are brainwashed, young and old, to thinking that racism is real and it's bad, but it's not.
So my question is, hey, in all of we are used to this culture of the liberal culture. We have become so used to that.
Yeah, I'm disavowing all the time.
Is it not wouldn't it be the smart thing to do if you want to excel and be financially successful, if you want to achieve managerial level accomplishments, that you drink the Kool-Aid, that you become the libtard?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be the smart thing to do?
Say that one more time.
To become the libtard, to enter into a managerial class.
Like Trump did?
Yeah, like everybody does.
Yeah.
It's kind of this ritual humiliation that you go through.
Yeah.
Because the conservatives, so, you have libtards and you have conservatards.
Right.
If your conservatardism, it sounds so dumb, limits you from progressing in life, then maybe you just need to go through that ritual humiliation in order to overcome, to enter into an upper strata of society.
Yeah.
It may be inevitable, and you have to swallow your pride to do it.
Yeah. They say, hide your power level, which is a phrase that I take to mean, don't be showing off how much you know that the culture doesn't acknowledge, the establishment culture. For example, about race, about men and women, about the LGBT, about all that stuff. You have to be sensible, slow to speak. You don't even necessarily have to humiliate yourself or grovel. You might play to that consciously, their fake values,
Uh-huh.
But do it in a way that you don't lose yourself. Or do it, let's say, do something you really don't believe in. But it's just business, and you don't identify with it or have any loss of your conscience about it. You don't. Yeah. Because a lot of this stuff really doesn't matter, and that's how they get away with it. It's like, what's the harm?
Right. Yeah. Because when you see it in people that you would think would know better, when you see it in older men,
yeah,
but you have an older man espousing some liberal thing, and at some point that person in all their years must know, right? I mean, they must know.
I
that,
know.
You know
like Joe Biden.
Yeah, exactly.
About the
Exactly.
trans
Something like
kids
that.
and all that stuff. Come
Right.
on. You're just going with the flow. You don't even really believe in all this mess.
And yet, he was president. You know, he checked all the boxes.
That's right.
You know? So, I often wonder how much of my conserva-tardism has hindered me through my life.
Yeah.
You have to play the game.
Right. It's called wisdom, I think. Because there's no need to lose your friends, your so-called friends, in many cases, by you piping up. I don't know if that happened to you, but that happens to some people. It's happened to me a little bit.
At some level, I think it happens to everybody.
Yeah. And that was not even really promoting anything. That was just pride popping off at the mouth, doing nothing good.
Right. Yeah, the pride.
Yeah.
It's usually what it comes down to.
Yep. Terrible.
And it's not likely that it's going to have any influence on anyone else. You think you're lying to yourself. You think, okay, you know, I'll stand up.
Yeah. I'm just telling the truth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they will reject you for being a light, but they'll also reject you for being dark and evil with your so-called light. So you'll think, oh, they can't take the truth.
Well, and once they, you know, fire you or whatever they need to do to get you to go away or be quiet, by that time it's too, like, nobody's going to follow you or be there for you. You know, when you stand up, and so it's kind of like they just see you as being dumb.
Yeah, because you are.
Yeah.
It's just judging each other. And you're right about each other, which is what's sort of funny.
Yeah.
But you ought to be looking at yourself.
Anyway.
Fun.
Did you get any gifts for Christmas?
Yeah, I got some gifts for Christmas. I have my parents and cousins and aunts and uncles, siblings. I have some people who love me. There's some that I haven't opened yet. It's terrible. Because I was so tired I didn't feel like opening them there. They're like, do you want to open them here or just take them home? I'll take them home. And I know that they're like clothes, like a shirt that might have polyester in it and things like that. And so hopefully there's no check that I was supposed to cash, that is more than 30 days or 90 days or whatever. I should open them.
Okay. You can wear them once.
Yeah, true.
Just wear them once where they can see it. And then,
nice.
Yeah, I got a book. My cousin gave me a book on Vicksburg. So I was really on the Battle of Vicksburg.
Okay.
The American Civil War, and I was really glad to read that, and then kind of give him a book report when I was done with it. It was really nice.
Right on, man. That's cool. History.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm all talked out.
It's good to talk to you again, Daniel in Texas. Appreciate you, man.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Wow. Stephen in Maryland is on the line over here. Stephen, thank you for calling and holding. What's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing well. How about you?
Good. I'm still moving.
Based. Right on.
I hit that big 88 next month.
Next month, you're going to be 88. That's cool. That's a good number.
Yes, sir. But this is what I call about. Jesse, you're Jesse's producer, right?
Say again? I have Jesse's what?
You are Jesse's producer.
Producer, I'm somewhat. I'm not his main producer, but yes, I'm a producer for JLP. You can call me that. Yeah.
Okay. Explain to me how he combined the races by telling the truth.
Oh, how he's not combining them, but uniting them?
Uniting them. There you go.
Because men like Josh from Georgia, and who's black, and then men like Hake from Los Angeles area, suburbs.
That's you, isn't it?
Yeah, that's me. We are united. We're brothers. Even though we're two different races, roughly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All I know, all he unites white people, ultra white people, nearly white people, no white people, poor white people,
Stay close to your
And
phone. You're
black
coming in
people-
slightly muffled.
and black people who want to be white.
No.
That's all he's uniting.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Joel Friday wants to be what Joel. He just wants to be Joel Friday. He doesn't want to be white. He's 30%. He's happy with his 30%, but he's
No, he
happy being himself. Joe.
No, he's not.
Yeah, huh? Why do you say
well,
that?
Next thing.
Wait. Why do you say
Moving
that?
on
You
first.
made an accusation. Explain yourself.
What?
You said Joel Friday is not happy being what he is.
He must not be. Or he says bad things about black people, about his own race.
Well,
Like Jesse.
but there's bad things to say about everybody.
But he doesn't say them.
Yeah, huh?
What?
You
You
got
gotta
to.
think about it.
You got to. I don't know. What does he say about black people?
Everything. He
What?
gets up something a day about black people killing somebody.
Oh yeah, make sure you tune into Punchy TV today. We're going to talk about the blacks.
There you
Shout
go.
out.
Every day. What's wrong with the blacks? And
We-
he's black.
But we know what's wrong. We love them.
Right. He sure do.
Who's
How
he?
come he don't have a black woman there?
Well, we did before, but she left because she had an attitude problem.
Right.
Shout out.
Okay. He's looking for a dumb one. That's what he wants, a dumb black woman.
What's wrong with the dumb ones? We love dumb people
I don't
too.
want no dumb woman. Because
Well,
a dumb woman had dumb children.
I mean, what's wrong with dumb children? We love dumb children too.
Right, okay. But I don't want none. You have all you want.
Thank you.
Moving right along.
I
Next
accept
thing.
that. Yeah.
Next thing. Plural octopus is octopi.
No, I
And
don't think that's
plural-
true.
That is true.
I'm
Like
gonna
a
I'm gonna
cactus?
prove you wrong by
Cactus
looking it
plant?
up.
Okay, cactus.
Cacti.
Cactus plant is a cacti.
Right. When you have multiple cacti. Because that's a
Yeah.
Latin word, but
Same
I
with
don't
octopus.
think octopus is a Latin word. But
Oh, that's
but
not
I
a
do
word.
appreciate your attempt to correct me. That's fun.
No, I was just
Um,
giving you, tell me what a plural octopus is.
I'm
Okay.
gonna look it up.
And the
According to
third thing-
Google AI, which is evil, I do acknowledge, the plural of octopus is octopuses. Octopi is also an acceptable plural, they say, but it's less common. Okay, so you're right and I'm right. We're both right. How's that?
Okay. Okay.
It's the
Moving right
oldest
along.
the oldest plural form. Octopi is the oldest plural form, but it's based on the misconception that Latin words should have Latin endings. And so I don't know. But anyway, Reddit said that it's not a Latin word.
I don't know about Latin words.
Yeah.
I don't know English. I don't
Nice.
speak Latin. Plus, that's a dead language anyway. That's gone.
Well, I don't know.
Bye-bye. Have a good day.
You're right, but Spanish has some inheritance from Latin, as does English and other words.
We all
other
do. So is
languages.
English.
Yeah.
Everything's taken from Latin.
Well, not
That was the
everything.
original
What about the
language.
Chinese? Chinese is not Latin based.
I don't know about Chinese. With the ting tong, long dong, and all that stuff. No, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving right along.
Okay.
Okay. Marx says all black people IQ are below white people, right?
Say that again. Black people have lower IQ than white people? Yeah. According
Yeah.
to Mark from Los Angeles.
According to Marx. Well, why is it I hear are white people asking Jesse for help? Their problems. Tell them how to straighten this.
Because
Keep
we're
that
mouth
right there, right
breathers.
back.
We're mouth breathers. We lack inner stillness. We are not cultivators. We stink. We lack wisdom.
Cultivators.
Huh?
You cultivate.
Well, some of us do cultivate. There are some rich white people, very productive white people who cultivate. They exercise and they make money and employ people, and even they ask JLP for advice because he can see in ways that a lot of us are just blind to. You know how the outside person sometimes has some sense that you don't have yourself?
Those crazy questions he asked people, how can they put up with that? Like, who are you?
Right. The reason why he asks that is because it's a mistake to identify with and accept these emotions that we feel.
If he asked me that question, you know what I would say?
What would you say?
I'm me.
Right. And who is that?
Me.
And so when you have all these selfish emotions, do you accept them as right?
I'm still me. Don't make no kind of emotions. I'm still me.
I know, but when you feel emotions, right?
Everybody got emotions.
Right. Or emotions got everybody.
What? Say that again?
Emotions got everybody. I'm saying it kind of black. Emotions have you. You don't have emotions. They have you. They control you in a lot of ways.
No, I control my emotions.
Oh, okay. No. All right. Fine.
Right. Don't you control your emotions?
I try to.
You fall in love with somebody, you're in love. That's your emotion. That's you.
But you can't control. You can kind of control that. You do foolish things. You can do foolish things to fall for somebody, or you can refrain from the foolish things so as not to fall for somebody.
You can do all that.
But you can't necessarily control that. That controls you.
No.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, suit yourself.
Third thing. Jesse wrote 3 books, right?
This is the 4th thing, but okay. Yes.
How can a man that illiterate write a book? I think what happened was...
He's writing a book right now.
One white guy is a ghostwriter, wrote all them books, and he put his name on it.
Well, there's one he co-wrote with Brad Stetson or something like that.
He probably co-wrote all of them.
Maybe, but the point is, he's not that illiterate. He can read and write.
I know he can read and write, barely.
And he writes his own notes for church. He writes down his own notes, and he comes up with his own thoughts, if you will, or God-given thoughts, yeah, for his monologues for the radio show and for church and all that stuff.
And all them thought things he's talking about. You're not your thoughts. Who else are you but your thoughts? What do you think that got in that bone on top of your neck? A brain, right? That's where all the thoughts are.
Brain's not a bone.
What?
The brain is... Did you call the brain a bone?
No, I said, what do you think is in that bone?
Oh, in the bone.
Neck, brain.
It's multiple bones, the cranium. Well, fused together, I heard.
Well, it's still got a brain in it, right?
Allegedly. I never seen it.
That's where all the thoughts are. Right there.
Right?
They come and they go. Like somebody thinks somebody a bad person. That's a thought, right?
Yeah.
Or they say that's a nice person. That's a thought, right?
Right.
So you live and die with your thoughts. You can't get bound. They do not come and go. They just there. You have thoughts. That's what your brain is for. To think with. But that's all I have today.
Okay. Well, thank you, man.
And we'll talk to you another time.
Sounds good. You should call into JLP with those questions, maybe.
He cut me off. He won't talk to me.
All right. Suit yourself.
Okay.
All right. Take care.
All right. Bye.
And Terry in Oregon. Terry, how you doing?
I'm all right, Hake. How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
So, I should say before I forget, I noticed you pulled out your phone and you still don't use a case on it.
Right.
So
No protection. It's better. It looks better. I disavow.
how many do you need to smash before?
Well, hopefully the reason that it fell was because I wasn't really paying attention. I was dropping it into what I thought was my bag, but I was dropping it outside the bag and it fell clack, 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 right on the gym floor. Terrible.
Yeah, no, I don't think people intend to drop their phones, but, you know,
But
that's
if you're
why.
paying attention is your protection. Right?
I mean, I
I'm
don't know.
for-
It's your thing.
I keep a case in my car so that when I go to the beach, the rubber case keeps it in my pocket a little bit more better, you know, because this metal can be slippery or whatever this stuff is. And it's just a little bit more stable. When I'm going hiking or walking at the beach, usually I'll put a case on it. But other than that, I've been okay.
All right. Well, we'll see how long it lasts. It's all good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I called in about, I wanted to talk about how people substitute ideology for religion.
Okay.
And I've been thinking about it with the trans movement for a while.
Yeah.
Because they have all of these really interesting transcendental kind of beliefs.
Wow.
And experiences, you know, about like they believe in this gender identity thing, which is, you know, an idol to them, and they have to go through all these rites and rituals to be born again as their authentic self, and they have that language about like their former identity being dead. I think it mimics Christianity in some weird ways, you know, in a like satanic inversion of it.
Yeah.
That's like the most obvious one, but I do think people substitute like their leftist beliefs or for religion a lot of the time. Not just that. I think that one though is kind of more cult-like, which is why I think of it as a cult.
Yeah.
Because it does seem to be like a brainwashing thing. It's a bit more insidious than maybe other things people get sucked into.
Right.
I don't know, maybe not, now that I'm kind of verbalizing this. I don't know why I wanted to talk with you about it, exactly. Maybe you'd be the best person to talk to about it.
If you think about it, all of our ideas that we hold on to are effectively our religion, our gods, the stuff that we believe in, things that we think that we want. Those are an illusion of an identity, of a thing that you want in life, that kind of controls occupies your mind and takes you out of the present. Yeah. Takes you out of just, and there's so much you're so blind to.
Dang.
So I really relate to the transgenders. Because there's so much stuff that is so distracting, but yeah, it feels central. It feels like this is what I really want in the back of my mind. You know?
Yeah, they're not the only people, obviously, that are succumbed to that, but it does seem to be like a cult that's
oh yeah, totally
grown in popularity, you know, in recent times, you know.
Yeah, it was a setup. You know, I talked with somebody about this, somebody who was interviewed on JLP years ago, a so-called gay Christian, said that all these biblical things about homosexuality or whatever, they weren't talking about the identity of homosexuality. They were talking about acts, I guess. And now that doesn't apply to people who have the identity of homosexuality, they say. And so they say, because our culture is different, we have this culture that has an identity of homosexuality, then you can go about it in like a real marriage and go about it the right way in there, so they claim. So this person, this dude on JLP claimed.
Yeah, that's really diluted.
Yeah, it's twisted. It's taking on other identities.
Well, and like the sin is thinking that you can create, like it's pride. You think that you know better than God. Like, and from that, it's going to grow into you developing this entire identity that's false, because you think your moral environment or your moral work that you can create in the world is going to be greater than what God has already put forth for us.
Well, I think that they might not be thinking that they know better than God or even the Bible, because the Bible they're saying, oh, the Bible was written for this time, so that's their excuse for accepting this. And they are calling their false identity God-given. They're saying, God made me this way. No,
that doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't, but it's what...
I mean, maybe you were born that way, or, the general, like, people are born that way. Maybe. I mean, we're born in a fallen world, in a fallen state. People are born with all kinds of, crosses to bear, but, like, that doesn't mean that it isn't a result of sin, or that you can indulge that as an identity.
Yeah, just because
your identity isn't supposed to be of this world.
Just because you can't help it doesn't make it right. Just because you didn't choose...
like a disabled person, for example, making that their entire identity.
Right. Same thing.
Yeah. Like, it's... Maybe you can't help whatever cross you have to bear, but it shouldn't be who you are.
That's right. And it shouldn't be called something right.
And you definitely shouldn't. You definitely shouldn't try to make people, drag people into hell with you.
Yeah.
Like,
true.
I mean, or like, I think that's the real. It is interesting, that kind of the Christian gay thing. I don't know.
It's kind of like the Christian divorce and remarriage people. They're like, oh, I can't help it. I'm human. I need this fake love. They don't call it fake love, but I need this love. There's redemption and stuff like that. That I think those are just excuses to satisfy the lusts of the flesh and the delusions of the mind, I think.
Yeah, it's basically just people, we're not really, again, bearing their cross.
Yeah.
We're not guaranteed to be free of pain or suffering in this world. That's not, we're supposed to overcome it, though, through like spiritual strength that is given to us through Christ.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It is uncomfortable, definitely. It's disturbing to me, actually, because so many churches that even are around me have, like, pride flags hanging on the side.
Yeah, they want to pretend they're welcoming.
Yeah, and obviously I think a church should be open to anybody who comes in who's, like, seeking, but
right.
You shouldn't leave people in hell. The point is to lead them out. But I think a lot of people want to pretend because maybe they don't understand what love is. Even Christians don't understand.
Yep.
They fall into that lie of, like, love is love. And
and they don't even know what they're talking about.
Yeah, it's all fake, like, emotional, like, validation, and not, like, actual love, which is doing what's right.
Yep.
Man, I don't know what to do about it, though. Other than just...
Well, just watch yourself and watch yourself and the things that you identify with.
Yeah.
And and that's the way out for you. And then you'll be a light, rather than trying to dimly / darkly point the way for others. You know.
Yeah, I hope so. It is. Yeah, it is difficult though, because it's, you know, you can tell people the truth, but, you know, if they're wicked, they're not going to want to hear it, or they're going to want to make it about something that it's not.
Yep. People are deep in their heads.
But I mean, yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, maybe it's like an idolatry thing as well. People have like that fake love as an idol.
Definitely.
Yeah, and it's definitely they confuse it with God. You hear it. People always say, who is God, or what is God, and they're like, God is love, but they think love is like feelings.
That's right. And it's nothing to do with that.
Oh my. Okay.
Right on.
I don't know. Yeah, that was it. I just wanted to say that, and also scold you in a mama spirit way about your phone.
Yeah. It's a point of pride. So you're only really encouraging me to live dangerously.
Oh, so you just admitted it was a point of pride.
Yeah, because look at how beautiful this thing is. And I disavow Apple.
Yeah.
I disavow Apple. I put my Hake sticker over it. Because I'm supposed to, right? They're liberals. They're run by this guy who's not morally straight. But
are they?
Yeah, Tim Cook.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. I avow slave labor, as you know.
Oh, God.
No, I don't know. I don't know what's going on in China with Apple and all that stuff. Maybe we can start bringing manufacturing back into America if we get rid of minimum wage and the unions and stuff.
Oh, hey. I don't know that that's a good idea.
It might not be. But Hakenomics rules in my mind. Take care, TERRI.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Bye. John from Kentucky John, on the line here. What's up, John?
Man, I just got some questions about this love topic y'all talking about today.
All right.
All right, so I heard one of the guys ask you a stupid question a few minutes ago about, did you get any gifts for Christmas, Hake?
Yeah.
Right, and you said, yeah, I got a few things from people who are close to you. You said, some people love me. Like, I have people that love me. That's what you said, right?
Yeah, I said it.
So is that love different from the love that you have for blacks and transgenders and Mexicans? Is that the same type of love?
No, I have God's love for the blacks and Mexicans and transgenders. Are you laughing?
Oh, man. Yeah, man, that's pretty
No, because this is just, family, brotherly love. Let me use the Greek, because I don't know, I came from that world, the Western world. Greek love is phileo love, brotherly love. I guess that's the love that I have for the blacks and transgenders and stuff.
No,
yeah, because I don't necessarily... What, you think I have agape love, God's love for you guys?
The love you're talking about with us and the transgenders, that's your cultish love. That comes from Jesse's philosophies.
So that would be phileo, the brotherly love.
That's the cultish from your cult, your philosophy.
My cult. Yeah, right. My culture. My culture, my religion.
Well, you can say it's your culture.
Yeah.
But when I think of love, like the love I have for my kids and my wife and my parents and my siblings, that type of love, that's an emotional type love. Those are the people I'm closest to. Those are the people that I'm willing to sacrifice for.
Yeah.
That's a certain type of love. When it comes to God's love, it's me keeping his commandments, walking in the light.
Yeah.
What you would say, right? That's God's love. But I don't particularly love people like you or strangers or just any random. Like, I don't just love people like that.
But you love the Black Hebrew Israelite nation.
Yes.
You love
Yes.
even the ones you don't know, you've never met.
Well, I have a certain type of love for them, not the same as for my kids or my wife. You understand?
Right. Of course, that makes sense.
So the love that you talk about you have for blacks, I don't look at that as you having love for us just because you try to say that you're trying to tell us the truth in hopes that we so-called change. I don't look at that as love.
Well, I'm not hoping that you guys even really change when I'm telling the truth, quote unquote. I'm just commenting on what the situation is because I find it remarkable, and so I remark about it. And I'm not. In some cases, I may be judging. I may be like, man, I hate that. But in some cases, I'm just commenting. I'm not even really thinking anything. You could even say I'm speaking even unconsciously, because I'm not thinking about how you guys might take it or anything. I'm just speaking my mind.
Job.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just doing your job.
Yep. It's not personal.
Your radio show job.
Yep.
So what? I mean, seriously, and I keep saying transgenders, but why do you say you love transgenders? I don't understand, because I don't. Not 1 ounce.
I mean, they are like, because they're gross. Is that why you don't love them? Like that. Yeah,
because of the lifestyle. Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely don't like that part. I disavow it. But I relate to them, and I feel like I understand them on some level because they have something that they feel like they can't help, and they have an idea in their mind that they've embraced that they cannot shake. It has a hold of them. And so on that level, I feel like we're supposed to love everybody.
Hate. No, you're not. What does it say you're supposed to love everybody in the Bible?
Well, I don't know if it says to love everybody, but it says love even your enemy. And I don't even think of necessarily the transgenders as being my enemy, but why should I? Let's say it's either love or hate. Okay?
No, you can't do it like that. See, that's Jesse's philosophy.
Why not? Why can't I do that?
Hey, just because I don't love this person that I don't know doesn't mean I hate them. I'm just neutral about them. I just go on about my day.
Okay, well, I'm mostly neutral then, let's say, to the transgenders. When they get all in my face, or when the conservatives post pictures that I find lacking in taste, I get annoyed at both the transgenders and the conservatives who are posting that stuff on social media because I don't want to see it. And but I have I am neutral to almost affectionate for them because I have what I feel is like a compassion or understanding on some level to them.
Well,
because I've been have you ever met them in person? Because I've
yeah, I've seen a few.
Yeah, me too.
I respect everybody.
Right.
But I'm not about to say that I love these people that are odd to me. They're odd.
Yeah.
Super odd.
Well, love sounds so soft and emotional. That might be why partly, and affectionate. That might be partly why you don't want to say love. But to me, respect is love.
No, heck no. No, it ain't.
Okay.
No, it ain't.
Let's say if your wife was on a kick, on a trip. She's tripping out, really disrespecting you, and you still treat her even keel. You're unmoved by that. You're showing her love.
See, that's your philosophy though, because everybody don't look at it like that. So, I mean, that was part of my question, how you see love, because I'm okay with emotions. Y'all are against emotions. I think emotions are what helps you get through life, and it's okay to be, happy at times. It's okay to be sad at times. It's okay to be have joy at times. It's just how you deal with how you get through that emotion. If you're doing negative when you get to some of those bad emotions, then obviously you have a problem. But if you know how to work through those emotions, that's what life is all about. You guys say that if you have emotions, you call people emotional, and that. I don't see it the same way y'all see it. Y'all want to be even keel. Go ahead.
But but isn't there a place for being even keel and getting past emotions? I'm not saying that I don't even necessarily agree that we're against emotions, but I get what you're saying.
100%.
No, but you see me going through all kinds of emotions.
Yeah, which is
On
why
my
I
show.
think you're a hypocrite. Which is why I think you're a hypocrite.
Am I a hypocrite, or am I just weak but agree with some principles, but I just don't necessarily live up to them?
Both.
All right, fine.
You're a hypocrite because you're a follower of Jesse, and he's got the most like outlandish ways of thinking ever that you guys cannot live up to.
But is there a place to being even keel? Isn't that a good example to treat your wife right, no matter how badly she's treating you?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not always. Not always, man. It's okay. It's okay that if something bad happens to somebody in my family due to somebody else, having a certain type of action, I can be mad and angry, but I can't act on it. I have to learn how to deal with it and get through it. That's part of life.
Right.
Just learning. But for me to say I'm going to be even keel, my aunt just got hit by a drunk driver, I'm going to be even keel about it. No, that's not the way life works. It's okay to have emotions.
I think so too. I think Jesse doesn't even disagree with you. If you're gonna like cry about your aunt, you cry a little bit and then you get past it.
Yeah, I've heard him say that a million times.
Yeah, see, so I don't think that you really disagree all that much.
I definitely disagree. Hey, I got another thing. I don't know if you got any more callers, but I got something else I want to ask you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I heard y'all talking about the Hebrew Israelites earlier. Do you think those so-called Jewish people over there are the synagogue of Satan that the Bible is referring to?
Maybe they are part of the synagogue of Satan. Maybe some of them, but the synagogue of Satan to me is any false teacher. I'll have to look up the verse. I'll have to look up to what the verse is actually talking about, because they're talking about those who say they're Jews but are not. Wolves in sheep's clothing, you know.
Synagogue of Satan.
Yeah.
Synagogue of Satan. It's referring to those people who established themselves as the true Jews in 1947. It's referring to those people.
I don't think that Jesus was talking about 1947, man. I think he was talking much more close to his day.
People, how can those people from Poland, Russia, who went over there and established Israel, quote unquote, Israel, be the true Jews? They're from Poland and Russia. They weren't always there.
They
those
could have
Netanyahu
been
type people.
Yeah. They could have been proselytes. I forget what it's called when they join into the Jewish religion.
You have more common sense than what you're dishing out. You're always saying maybe and all this right here. Just be honest. Just be honest.
I mean, the whole world recognizes these people as Jews, including like you. Like you call them so-called, but
Jewish.
Yeah.
ISH, pertaining to Jew.
Yeah.
That means they adopted Judaism.
Right.
That doesn't mean they're the true Jews.
Whatever. Close enough.
It's not whatever. It's not whatever. It's the truth, man. The only reason why I came into the truth is because I was taught the story of the Israelites, and the only people that can what word am I looking for?
Can claim that claim that story or whatever.
Those stories refer to our people. Like your people had a different history. Those so-called Jewish people over there had a different history. Irish people had a different history. Chinese people.
Yeah.
Like that story don't apply to anybody but us. And even if you agree or disagree, it's very, very similar. Very similar.
So the Jews in the Bible, the Israelites in the Bible, went through slavery in Egypt, right?
Yes.
And then there's Israelites from 400 years ago, you're thinking, went through slavery in America. Is that what that's the parallel that you're drawing?
Yes, because it said we went through bondage again. It said we went on slave ships, and it uses the word Egypt, which is only saying we went through bondage again. It's using it as like symbolism of saying the first time you went through slavery in Egypt, second time you went on ships. Yeah, so it's talking about us. And it's just a coincidence that it's the 400 years from, 1619 to how my teachers teach it, 2019. That was the 400 year. Yeah, I mean, you can laugh, but think about how. Yeah. Just think about how crazy things have been since around that time. It's been super, super, super crazy and out of the norm, in my opinion.
You're talking about 2019 and on?
Yeah.
It has been insane. It's ridiculous.
It hasn't been the norm. And,
that's not a very strong argument.
It is a very strong argument. What people have been in this type of slavery where they lost their language, their names, their entire culture has been wiped away from them. What people has ever had their entire culture wiped away from them?
I don't know. The whites are the only ones who wrote history.
No, the white. Well, you wrote your history, the lies and stuff,
but the rest of you guys were like illiterate, so we don't know.
I'm illiterate, my butt. But which people? Seriously,
yeah,
their whole culture was just wiped away.
I don't know. I can't answer that. You got me.
Are you saying that the American blacks' entire culture was not wiped away?
No, I'm not saying it wasn't. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get that we, the righteous whites, gave the black Africans
Lord have mercy.
We gave them a new family, a new home, a new plantation, a new job, and a new language and a new religion, Christianity.
The devil. You are the devil.
Oh
my God, you're the devil. But man, listen, we're not African though. Africans knew who they were selling. They weren't selling their own people. Everybody always says because our skin, that we're the same. To this day, Africans know that we are not their people.
Right.
They sold other dark-skinned people, which were Israelites, into the Americas. So every dark-skinned person we don't consider an Israelite. Only the people who have that background of the American slave. That's our claim to it. Hey.
Yeah, and the Mexicans for some reason, American Indians.
And the Mexicans, yes, because it was 12 tribes. I mean, you can laugh. See, y'all laugh so much.
I wasn't laughing.
You have no idea.
I've stopped myself from saying something else.
A lot of our people are waking up to it, and a lot of your people are waking up to it because the information is so interesting, and you can call it a coincidence, but everything seems to be lining up the way the Bible says it in Revelation. Everything seems to be lining up. So I'm staying with this way of thinking to the end. I'm not going anywhere, but I like listening to y'all's point of view. I like listening to y'all be sarcastic and make fun of it.
Right.
But you guys have no idea. You guys have no idea, especially when you guys call yourself Christian and followers of the Bible. We can just pinpoint how y'all are just nowhere close to even looking at the Bible and telling the truth about it. You guys are fake and false, and you pick and choose everything, little thing in the Bible that applies to you, and it's not even referring to you.
Have you heard of confirmation bias?
Explain.
When you have something that you believe or want to believe, and then you get new information, and that information seems to confirm what you already believe, but it may not. It just looks like it's confirming.
I didn't believe it at first, though. I didn't believe it at first.
But
I can't find any information to pull me away from it, Hake.
Okay.
Turn me Christian, man. How about you do that? Give me some information that will turn me like.
But you already believe in Black Jesus, right? Don't you already believe in the Black Messiah? The Black Hebrew Israelite Messiah?
Earlier. Yeah.
Okay. So you already are kind of Christian. Just not Greek.
Oh, so you believe in the Black Messiah?
Well, I don't really know or care what color he was. I don't think he was black. I thought he was olive. We've been over this.
He was colored. Let's just say that. He was
light colored.
He wasn't European. Think about how many.
I gotta go.
Hey, real quick.
Yeah.
Think about how many white people think Jesus is white. Like when they close their eyes and they pray, they think he's white. They would be shocked. They would be shocked to see a colored Jesus walking the earth, right or wrong.
Yeah. No.
And the Ku Klux Klan, the Ku Klux Klan wouldn't even consider themselves Christian anymore if they saw a olive-skinned Jesus, because he's not European. I don't even care if you call him black.
Some of them might be into their race like that, to that level. I don't know. You might be right.
Most of them.
All right. I got to go, John in Kentucky. It's been nice talking. All right. Take care. Oh, boy. Oh, man. How long is this song? I don't have much time. Sorry about that. Ojitos. Mentirosos. Cumbia. Mexican Monday.
Ojitos mentirosos, no me mires. Tu mirada tierna me enloquece. Ese tu mirar se parece al radiante sol que amanece. Mienten tus ojitos, mira tan bonito. Y mi corazón se hace pedacito. Y mi corazón
My heart.
se hace pedacito.
Something, hopefully not bad.
Mira tan bonito.
Your eyes lie.
Y mi corazón se hace pedacito. Y mi corazón se hace pedacito.
Lin Yan Shin, I gotta get you tomorrow. Popcorn Stump Keg too. And the rest. Jaime from Minnesota. And the rest of the callers, I'll have to get to you tomorrow.
Pero tu mentira es la noche.
Lying eyes.
Oscuridad llena de reproches. Ojitos mentirosos, no me mires.
Ball Earth Clouds.
Tu mirada tierna me enloquece. Mienten tus ojitos. Mira tan bonito. Y mi corazón se hace pedacitos. Y mi corazón se hace pedacitos. Mienten tus ojitos. Mienten tus ojitos. Y mi corazón se hace pedacitos. Y mi corazón se hace pedacitos.
Look, Hake in the clouds.
Hasta las 4 de la mañana.
Whoa. No tattoos.
Ojitos mentirosos, no me mires. Tu mirada tierna me enloquece. Ese tu mirar se parece al radiante sol que amanece. Mienten tus ojitos, mira tan bonitos. Y mi corazón
The record is skipping Hake.
se hace pedacito. Y mi corazón se hace pedacito.
Oh!
Mienten tus ojitos.
W.
Mira tan bonitos. Y mi corazón se hace pedacito. Y mi corazón se hace pedacito. Mienten tus ojitos. Mira tan bonitos.
Bye, guys.